BraixZard is back, and now we're using Charizard Braixen. Welcome back, everyone, to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch, and today we're going to take a look at BraixZard. This deck has obviously been around for a very long time. Since Unbroken Bonds. It's one of the oldest cards in the set, but we are now in standard rotation, sorry, but now it is in kind of vogue because of Braixen Charizard, which is such a powerful card. I'm surprised that hasn't seen more play sooner. This list was found on Twitter. I think it might have been Azul's Twitter. I'm not sure, but it's inspired by Jennifer Lockridge, who is the winner of the most recent Lavender Town tournament. So congratulations to her. We will take a look at the list in just a second, but before we do, please consider subscribing. Jump down into the description to play along with us. The deck list is down there, and whilst you're there, give the video a like so that more people can see this video. Apart from that, we'll jump straight into PTCGO and check out the deck. So here we have it, a ReshiZard BraixZard Volcanion deck. BraixZard, very powerful. There's a lot to go through, so I will not stuff around. Firstly, we have 4 copies of Volcanion. We want to start this, we want to go second, so that we can use Flare Starter to accelerate 3 energy to one of our tag team GXs. A High Heat Blast is also a very useful attack. Can knock out things like Zacian V, which is very powerful and popular at the moment. Lots of potential power in this card, but we obviously want to accelerate onto Braixen and Charizard. Brilliant Flare is the attack of choice here. 180 damage for 4 energy. Doesn't seem that good when you consider the fact that we can also search our deck for 3 cards and put them into our hand. This attack is incredible. The GX attack, Crimson Flame Pillar, also a little bit useful if you have had all of your energy discarded. You can attach 5 basic energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. If that is the case, it's going to be very useful against things like LucaMetal, frankly, because you'll be able to get all of your energy back. There's also 1 copy of the traditional Reshiram and Charizard in the deck. Outrage, Flare Strike, and Double Blaze GX are all incredibly powerful attacks, so definitely not to sleep on. The rest of the deck is super dense. There's a lot going on here. Only having 7 Pokemon means that there's a lot of room for tech cards, and the reason that we can play so many is because we have 4 copies of Green's Exploration, so we can use this card to search for 2 trainers from our deck. As long as we have no Pokemon with abilities in play, there are no Pokemon with abilities in the deck, so that's never going to happen. So we want to play Green's Exploration, pardon me, to try and set ourselves up so that we can get our Flare Starter off on the first turn, and then we want to be able to use it to guarantee that we're attacking with either Brilliant Flare or one of ReshiZard's attacks every turn after that. So we probably want to use things like a couple of copies of Switch or even a Scoop Up Net to try and get into our Volcanion so that we can use Flare Starter. We might want to use Energy Spinner or one of our 2 copies of Giant Hearth to find Fire Energy so that we can attach 1 to Volcanion and use Flare Starter to attach 3 to our benched GX Pokemon. We might want to find that GX Pokemon. We've got 3 Quick Ball that can find all the Pokemon in the deck, or 2 Tag Call that can find our 2 GXs. So there is a lot of search in item form in this deck. Means that Greens on the first turn is very reliable. You can get all the cards that you need, and if you don't find Greens, we have 4 copies of Pokegear as well to try and get into it as quickly as possible. There's a lot of other tech cards in this deck that we can use. One-off copies, they're not useful in every matchup, but they do have some niche uses. I'll walk through a couple of them. Things like Scoop Up Net, there's 1 copy of that will remove a Volcanion from play, especially useful against ADP Zacian. Force your opponent to go through 2 tag team GXs, means that their GX attack is effectively useless. I also have 1 copy of Great Potion to do a little bit of healing. Maybe a deck is relying on half hitting and exact numbers. Great Potion can throw that out of sync. Great Catcher is a Gust that you can search with greens to maybe knock out a Dedenne. That would be fantastic. Fire Crystal gets some energy back. We've got Lily's Pokédoll. Maybe we need to switch into something to get rid of, I don't know, a status condition or like paralysis or sleep, we can switch into a Pokédoll and then pop this back at the bottom of the deck and then use our Pokemon again. Or we can even put Pokédoll in the active to give ourselves a little bit of extra time to try and power up another attacker. We've got a couple of reset stamps as well. This is particularly useful in the late game when your opponent's maybe knocked out a Volcanion and a GX. You can reset stamp your opponent and then use Jesse and James to remove their hand completely. And when you remove their hand and you're using Brilliant Flare to set your hand up, you can completely lock your opponent out of the game, which can be really, really useful. Tool Scrapper, another one of we can use to get rid of things like big charms on ADPs or annoying things, really. Tool Scrapper gets rid of a bunch of annoying tools. We've also got Big Charm as well. This, as well as our 4 copies of Heat Fire Energy, can make our Pokemon a little bit more hefty than they already are. 270 for both of our tag team Pokemon, so we don't want them to be knocked out by an Eternatus or a Zacian in one hit. We can put down the Big Charm, that's 30 extra damage, plus the fire energy, the heat fire energy, means we've got effectively 50 extra HP, and that can kind of force your opponent to 2-hit a Pokemon that they would want to one-shot. Got a ton of supporters as well. Not only do we have greens, but we obviously have Welder. It's a fire deck, so we want to get some energy accelerated. There's Welder and 9 fire energy in the deck, so we can use those pretty reliably. We have 2 copies of Boss's Orders as well to be able to gust out and take knockouts on specific targets. Then we're into some more niche supporters. We've got Cynthia and Caitlin to discard a card from our hand, find a supporter from the discard pile and draw 3. We've got Mallow and Lana to heal, and that can go quite nicely with Great Potion as well. We have Team Yell Grunt to slow down decks that rely on manual attachments, and we also have 2 copies of Lieutenant Surge, so that when we do eventually go behind, then it is likely that that happens. We can set up plays where Surge goes into greens, goes into whatever supporter that we need. We can even power up one of our Pokemon in a single turn with 2 Welders, which would be fantastic. There's a lot going on here. It's very difficult to play the first time. There are a lot of kind of niche situations that cards are here for that you might not realize until after those situations have happened, but I think that the deck at its core is good enough to beat pretty much anything in Standard at the moment. It's not quite as reliable as I'd like it to be, but it's a greens deck, it's fun, it's good. Let's take it onto the ladder and see how it works. Let's start it off on the ladder. We'll see if we can't get ourselves a couple of games with ZARD. Oh my goodness. My old habits are obviously dying hard here. We will go second because GrainZard wants to go second, and this is a perfect starting hand. I mean, you wouldn't know it looking at it, but we have Tag Call, we have Fire Energy, and we've started Volcanion, and we're going up against another Volcanion deck. So this could be very interesting. Maybe a Mirror, maybe a like a Mewtwo deck, maybe a Centiskorch deck. We will see. They don't have a lot going on here, and we've top decked green, so this is perfect. Let's use Tag Call here. I will grab Charizard Braixen and Cynthia Caitlin. I might even use Green's Exploration here. You have a good deck, thank you very much. Let's play down greens. Now this is where I get into real trouble with these kind of decks, is making decisions about what the best combo is. I think I'm going to grab Hearth and Welder for next turn. I don't need them now, but I might need them later. So I will Flare Starter, accelerate 3 energy to the benched BraixZard. But now I've got an option for next turn. I can use Giant Hearth, I can use Cynthia Caitlin, I can Welder, I can do all sorts of stuff here. So I don't mind this at all. Plus our opponent will not be able to do too much. They've played down their own Giant Hearth here. So now our Giant Hearth is a bit of a waste, but that's okay. We can just discard it and use their Giant Hearth for the rest of the game. Getting rid of a boss and using Pokegear to find greens. So this is a mirror, or at least it appears to be a mirror. It might be a greens Centiskorch deck, maybe? Maybe a greens BraixZard mirror opening up in the first round of today's video. We will see very briefly what is coming out. A Torkoal. Okay, so it's like an energy denial deck. Okay. So, this is very interesting because we can't one-shot a Torkoal with a BraixZard. We need to use ReshiZard here, but we didn't have it in the deck, so that's okay. They're going to Flare Starter. Let's see here. I'll get rid of the Giant Hearth. And then I think it might just be like a No, that's Boss. We'll Boss. I was about to say we might Welder, but I think what we do is we just Heat Factory and half hit. And that's the smartest thing to do, because now, even if they do knock us out, then we can use our BraixZard next turn to knock out their Torkoal and search out some stuff from our deck. So I feel like this is the smartest thing to do, and next turn if they do choose to knock us out, we can Surge and Welder and do all sorts of stuff. So I think that we're in a good spot here. That high heat blast damage is actually very, very important. That's going to put us in a good spot. Here comes the Welder. So they are going to power up their Torkoal. They have another on the bench with an attachment, so we are not going to be able to knock that one out and save a turn here. Looks like they are going for the KO with Steam Crush. So we have everything that we need now. We just promote our BraixZard and go for our lives. Let's have a think. We've got two. What we might do is we might discard this fire and grab our last energies from the deck. Then we can weld. Oh, I forgot to surge. I could have surged. Man, it's a misplay. That's alright, we'll grab the BraixZard with the Tag Call. Play that down, I guess. Attach with a Fire Crystal. That's really annoying, because I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have, I should still have one more supporter to use, but it's fine. I will Brilliant Flare, take the knockout. I will search my deck, and I think it's going to be... Let's see, I think I want a Welder. I feel like a Big Charm and a Heat Fire could be useful, although to be fair, maybe a Reset Stem they have a knocking me out here? I don't think so. Tool Scrapper, that could be useful, get rid of that, to be fair, Tool Scrapper doesn't really matter. That's okay, we're taking 2 prizes, this is fine. We have our attachments, we want to make sure that we stack as many energy onto our BraixZards as possible, because that way we're not going to get immediately punished for by the Torkoal V. So that would be great. Our worst thing that could happen here is like, I'm not going to say like a Gust, like Stamp Gust would be really bad. I don't think I could deal with that too easily. There's the boss, so we'll see. Do they have the stamp? They do. Oh, I've got to stop saying what would be really bad. I feel like it happens every time. I feel like it just happens every single time. And we don't have a supporter to go from here. What we might be able to do is we might be able to accelerate some energy into the discard pile. It's a shame though. We haven't been able to discard, well not discard, any. We haven't been able to utilize too many. I'm going to quick ball away this Fire Energy and then Volcanion. This is a bit of a risk. I'm going to Crimson Flare Pillar GX to attach these 2 Fire Energies to the active, because then at least if we don't have ourselves, words are hard. If they don't discard our energy, I can at least retreat next turn and attack with the benched BraixZard. Man, if only I'd used Surge on that last turn, I feel like I could have been in so much more of a powerful position. Team Yell Grunt, that's so awkward. At least it wasn't a what's it called? A welder. At least it wasn't a welder. Okay, so next time we could attach and retreat, we could just pass as well. Like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It depends on what we get. We could, if we top deck Welder, we could welder the energy to the active and then try and find another energy, not a basic energy, but a Heat Fire. Let's see. What is the play? What are they going to do? They're going to use Energy Spinner. They have 4 energy in their hand. No energy and Flare Starter. So the hand is 3 energy and something. about? Like, I obviously can't find any energy here. What if I just, like, attached and passed? Because they don't have anything in hand. They've got 3 energy, so they can attach and high heat blast if they want. Or they can attach to the bench. They can't do both. So maybe I just back myself into top deck out first. I don't want to burn away my energy. That's the problem. I've already used the Crystal and Crimson Flare Pillar, so I can't really afford to waste any more. The Torkoal and 3 energy, 2 energy now, and a pass. Okay. And we top deck the Fire Energy. Perfect. Brilliant Flare, knock out the Volcanion, and now we can set ourselves up to do some stuff next turn. We can switch, which I think we need, because they're probably going to try and knock out our energy. Big Charm maybe, Yell Grunt maybe. Mallow and Lana could be useful. What do we take? I feel like we have to take a Heat Fire. We might even just take a second one. No, that would be silly. Take a Greens, because then we can at least do something next turn. Plus we have a prize to work with, which is good. We'll take that prize. And it is the ReshiZard. So now, even if they Steam Crush us, we can at least switch into the bench, attach the Heat Fire to the bench, and then attack. So that's good. We know that they have 1 energy in hand, but they didn't have anything else. So here comes the Steam Crush. This is good for us, surprisingly enough. This is good for us. Because now we can attach the Heat Fire to the bench. We managed to top deck another one as well, which is really good. So now we've got 6 energy on the active, which means that we can survive 2 turns without being affected by that Steam Crush. And every turn we attack, we can grab ourselves extra stuff. I'm thinking maybe they boss and try and knock us out. We can grab Stamp Jesse James, maybe Yell Grunt, maybe just Greens, maybe another Heat Fire. Don't know if it really matters too much. We only have Greens in hand. And at the moment, we're just kind of hoping that they don't draw out of this situation. For us, if they like gust and knock out, that would be great. Steam Crush again, so they're going to discard 2 more. We have Great Potion and 2 energy in hand. Plus, we're taking a knockout next turn. This is looking pretty good. I think we probably... Oh, they've got 2 cards left. Let's Jesse James them. See you later. We don't want you to have those. And we can then just Brilliant Fall. We should probably play the Great Potion. That's probably fair. We should probably do that. Then we can Brilliant Flare, take a knockout. We've got 1 more knockout left to take. I do not think that it really matters here what we grab. I will probably get like Cynthia Caitlin. I grab Big Chump. Yell Grunt seems like a good card to grab now as well. We can force them to slow down a little bit. Grab a couple of cards out of the prizes. I don't think that our opponent ever discards an energy from us again. Because Yell Grunt next turn means that they... Oh, wow, they just got Fire Crystal, okay. So they've got 3 Fire Energy in their hand. They can attach 1 and Combustion Pillar. They don't get the knockout there. I think now it is as simple as attaching a Big Charm. We can... What do we attach to the active? Probably should have attached to the bench. I'm going to Yell Grunt, I think. Get rid of their energy. I'm just worried now if they get Welder. I mean, if they get Welder, they can't knock us out because of the fires anyway, so it's fine. We are fine. I don't think these even really matter at all. We'll go with the boss because we need that for next turn. And Tool Scrapper, I guess. Probably should have grabbed Switch, to be fair. It's okay, we've got an attachment anyway, so we can just manually retreat even if they do boss. Combustion Pillar does not take the knockout, so we are set and ready to go. Brilliant Flare for the game. A little bit of an issue at the end there, but definitely very workable. Good deck. Alrighty, let's do this again. We'll see whether or not BraixZard can continue its winning ways. We've won the coin flip, so we will go second. Thank you very much. And see what we can do. Alright, we have greens in hand. We have fire energy. We have access to BraixZard. So now all we need to do is get a switch and an attachment. Sorry, not an attachment. We have the attachment. A switch and a Pokemon is what I'm looking for. And we are good to go. We have both of them and a Tapu Koko in the active from our opponent. I wonder what is going on here. Let's see, a quick ball. This might be like a Bolton thing. Yeah, there's a Bolton here. That's a really annoying amount of HP for a Pokemon to have, frankly, especially when I'm relying on BraixZard. We find the switch off the top deck, which is good. So now I can Greens Exploration. I feel like, let's see, Giant Hearth seems good because we have the Welder. Although, to be fair, I probably should have gotten the Energy Spinner because now I'm going to need to discard a bunch of cards. We can get rid of Yell Grunt. I don't think that's going to matter too much. Let's grab Volcanion. We can play that bad boy down. We can play the Giant Hearth. I'm going to get rid of the Scoop Up Net, I think. I think we really need that just to grab some Fire Energies. Let's get rid of the Stamp, actually, because I got 3 cards in hand. And then we can Flare Starter. Scoop Up might be useful if we need to get out of the active this turn. Although, to be fair, we have couple of welders, so it shouldn't be too hard, but it's better to leave my options open. Stamp is not going to come up for a very long time. Best case scenario for us, I just leave the Koko in the active and we can just knock it out, but it's, you know, whatever. Fortunately, we don't have a way to deal with Bolton. That is going to have to be 2 hit by BraixZard, which is unfortunate. I'm going to need to get ReshiZard out very quickly. I'm just going to have a little recline in my chair here, because it has been a big, long day of recording videos, and my back is sore. Because I have to sit up straight, right? Because the camera is framed so that I'm sitting up straight, and when you look at the chair, just roll out a little bit, I'm actually sitting way off of the chair to sit up straight. So, it can be a little uncomfortable, but it frames perfectly. You know, see me in my little camera there. Very, very nicely framed. I just want to recline back like this. Oh, it's my turn. Okay, what is going on? Let's welder. We'll welder once to the bench. And then once we'll attach to the active. I think we just half hit this Bolton here. That seems fine. What is that? Morpeko. I completely missed that. I was too busy talking about chairs. Okay, this is going to be interesting. They're going to research here. This looks like a Greens Morpeko deck. This is an interesting idea for sure. Greens Morpeko. Morpeko VMAX. Well, I think we've found ourselves our like target. I know I have already said that I would do some expanded stuff, but tell you what, maybe the last standard deck I do could be Morpeko VMAX. 100 likes, boys and girls, 100 likes, and I will play Morpeko VMAX. What are we going to do here? Let's tag call. I'll probably grab the Reshi and the... I think Cynthia Caitlin is the better choice here. I can play down that ReshiZard if I want. Let's Cynthia Caitlin first. I will discard the Scoop Up Net, no longer required. I think Greens seems like a good card to have access to. I'll play this ReshiZard down. I'll use... Oh, I shouldn't have used Fire Crystal. I should have used the Spinner. It's the second time I should have used the Spinner. That's okay. We will Brilliant Flare and... Yeah, Brilliant Flare and half hit this Morpeko. I don't think you can knock me out. I'd be struggling to do that. On the Great Potion, I think I might like... Boss? Do I have... No, maybe like... Big Charm? Yeah, that seems fine. Let's do this. Because I've got greens in... Oh, I already had a boss, didn't I? Ugh. Good grief. That's okay. Greens Exploration again. They can get going with their Morpeko. So VMAX only has 300 HP, which is a weird one. Are they going to stamp me here? They're going to stamp all this stuff out of my hand? They might just be about to do that, which is disappointing. Comes another Morpeko. Play that down and attach. Then reset stamp, and away we go. So we are hoping for the best now. They cannot knock us out, which is good. They have to half hit. Comes the max discharge, a 180 and 20 to the bench. We have Welder in hand. Let's see if we can find something else. Ugh, none of these are particularly good. I guess Jesse and James seems... Oh yeah, probably should be Jesse and James. That seems fine. I'm just going to Welder to the bench, try and get some energy. There's a Pokédoll, which I don't mind. We will attach as well. Then I think I just quick ball the Volcanion away. We'll grab another Volcanion out. And then Brilliant Flare, which will take 3 prizes. And we'll also search for our next hand here. What is it that we are going to do? I feel like Surge is a good get, because they're probably going to knock us out here. It might be worth grabbing the Stamp and the Boss as well. Actually, no, we need energy. So we probably grab... Do we grab the Fire? Maybe we could grab, like... Instead of the Stamp, we grab the greens, because then we can Surge greens for Stamp. Anyway, this is fine. We will take 3 prizes. We find a Fire Energy, we find a Surge, and we find a greens. Excellent. So the 3 cards that I just searched for with the Brilliant Flare were in the prizes. Oh, that's so annoying. This broken effect, and they're mining me out of them anyway. Oh no. Oh no. Watch them knock me out now. Big chunk. Just a pass. Just a pass, you say? Well, alrighty then. We probably just go on to win the game very easily then. Let's grab the Volcanion with a quick ball. I probably like Spinner. I will attach, well, I'll welder the energy on. I don't need to use the Mallow and Lana anymore. Oh, we've got an attachment as well. I don't mind the attachment to the ReshiZard. Then we just Brilliant Flare. Unfortunately, we don't have access to the Surge turn anymore, but that's okay. I'll grab Boss, I'll grab a Fire Energy, and... I don't know. That's all we really need. Let's just grab a Surge, just in case something silly happens. And, greens, sure. So we have Fire Energy in hand. We'll find... Oh, Pokegear. Okay, I was about to say we'll find one of the cards that we searched for, because that's exactly what happened in the last time that it happened. Comes a Pokegear. I'll grab Professor's Research. Let's have a think here. What is... Well, I mean, we win the game if nothing changes. They need to knock me out. I actually feel like it's going to happen. I feel like we're just going to win. Here's the VMAX. Okay, so they're trying to sit behind that, but we just found the boss, so we can just boss out the Boltund and win. So we'll just do that, shall we? Boss the Boltund, Brilliant Flare. We won't go searching. And there you have it. We managed to get a couple of wins. I actually don't mind that Morpeko idea. That's an interesting one. So there it goes. BraixZard, I guess we call it. BraixZard is a force to be reckoned with. Didn't play against any of the top tier decks in this particular format, but did get a couple of good games with it, so would 100% recommend. I'm not going to go back and re-record this as the end. People that are at the end don't care about me stuffing up anyway. In fact, they find it funny and they comment about it, and they like the video and they subscribe if they haven't already. Watch the rest of the stuff over here. Remember, if we get 100 likes, I might try and do that Morpeko deck. I will do the expanded stuff. I will. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.